It's a big, exciting day for us. We're so glad that you're here. 2 weeks ago, there wasn't a speck of furniture, there wasn't a book in this building. A week ago today, we officially got the certificate of occupancy, and today we're pretty much ready to go. And your being here really reminds us of why we're here, so that on Monday I think we'll be fully raring and ready to go. A quick little note about the format for today. We're going to be in here for not too long. We're going to do some introductions. You're going to get to meet the team behind you. You're going to hear a few remarks, and then the bulk of the remaining time. The bulk of the remaining time. Thank you, Matthew. The bulk of the remaining time you'll spend wandering around this amazing building, visiting with teachers and with your advisors. The schedules, the individual schedules, were supposed to be here, and they should arrive within about 15 minutes. We're having a little tech issue right now, as happens when you really need it not to happen. So if you'll bear with us on that, I'm hoping that by the time we finish here, individual schedules will be ready, you've got your building map, and you can travel around. Oh, she's here. Okay. So, we'll start with introductions. I've asked each teacher to just say his or her name, what they teach, and one prompt. The prompt for today is, I've asked them to identify one teacher whom they bring with them to the classroom. A teacher that they've had in their own life as a student, whom they bring, figuratively, they bring to the classroom with them and attempt to emulate something about that teacher. That's just part of our prompts as far as getting to know these people up here. It's an amazing group, so I kind of wanted them to say just a little bit more than their name and what they teach. And I'll start off. I'm Bryan again. I teach English, director of the high school, and one teacher I bring with me is Billy Ray Valentine, my junior English teacher, who I think many of us have stories about a teacher like this, someone who got you very, very excited and passionate about something that you never would have thought you could have. Some people say that one test of a school is what do your students think about and talk about when they're not with you. And that's a pretty tough metric, but he had us talking about things like Hawthorne outside of class. And I wasn't the dorky English person that I am now then, but he had us discussing American Lit, 19th century American Lit, outside of our class. And so I thought that was very inspiring, and I tried to bring part of Billy Ray Valentine with me to work.
My name is Richie Temple. I'm a high school history teacher. I specifically teach 12th grade AP European History and 11th grade history. And this is my 10th year here. It's the first year here though. So I'm really glad to be here and glad to be part of this great faculty here as well. A teacher that I remember very much is Miss Kinga Kozak. She was a Polish teacher for me in Krakow, Poland, when I was studying in Poland. And the thing that I remember about her most was she made me speak Polish, and she believed that I could speak Polish. As much as I didn't believe I could, and as hard as it was for me, she brought it out of it and brought it out of me. And of course it helped that she didn't speak any English. So anyway, just her believing in me, her positive attitudes toward me, and her encouragement is something that I try to emulate as well in working with my students to help them become the best students they can be as well.
Elizabeth Garcia, I'm new to Woods this year, and I'm just thrilled to be here. I can't wait to get to know all of you. I'll be teaching 10th and 11th grade English. This is Joey, by the way. He's not yet a Woods student, but is hoping to be one in a couple of years. One teacher who I bring with me to the classroom is my mother. She was a middle school teacher for many years, and she really was a teacher in everything she did. Just interacting with my friends, with neighbors, she always had the attitude of listening to each individual person, hearing what they had to say, and trying to help that person reach his or her best in life. So I feel like I've been shaped so much by her.
I am the art teacher here. This is my 8th year here at Woods, and I'll be teaching 9th through 12th art. And I bring a couple of different teachers to the classroom. One was a professor in college, James Rosen, who really just embodied everything that I thought an artist should be. And he instilled in me just a love for art. I mean, I always had it, but he really just brought out the best in what I do. And that's what I try to do for my students too. I try to look at what they do and try to find their strength and bring that out. Another teacher that is my mother. She taught kindergarten for 30 years, and I would occasionally go and help her in her classroom, and I just saw the extreme patience that she had, and I try to bring that to the classroom as well.
Hello, I'm Mark Moore. I'm also new here at Woods this year. I'm a math teacher. I'll be teaching Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and also pre-calculus. And a teacher that comes to my mind is a Latin teacher I had in high school. He was Vincent Pascucci, and he was a teacher that, as some already alluded to, a subject that most people aren't especially interested in, but the passion that he brought to it, and obviously we know Latin is really not spoken very much, but he would speak it in class and just had a real way of bringing it back to life and making the classroom atmosphere just very inspiring for everyone. So that's what I try to bring as well. And as we know, math is not a language people like to speak either, but hopefully I can help your students with it.
Hi, I'm Chris Little. I'll be teaching 9th grade French this year and also middle school French. I'll follow up from Mark's remark because my teacher I'd like to talk about today was Joe Foss, my Algebra 2 teacher in high school. When I had reached a point of losing some confidence in my ability as a math student and thinking that it was just, too much for me. And I was scared to death when I saw his name on my schedule because he had a reputation of being Mr. Tough. But he turned out to be a softie and gave me so much encouragement as he did all of his students and had so much fun with math and yet made us work really hard. So for those who will be in 9th grade French, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Hello, my name is Ebony Johnson, and this year I'll be teaching AP Biology and the 10th grade biology class. One teacher that I bring to the classroom with me is Ms. Jenkins. She was my 10th grade honors English teacher. And I think what I remember most about her, what I try to bring to the classroom, is her ability to make me feel like I could do whatever I set my mind to. So I hope that I will impart that from my students this year as well. Thank you.
I am middle school director, and I'm also teaching high school music this year for the first time. We've got a new jazz elective that's going to be happening. There's a lot of changes going on. As you can see, we now have a stage. We have 2 music rooms. Very, very excited about it. And let me think. One teacher that springs to mind, I guess I could talk about my music teacher from school. He didn't teach me every year. He kind of came in after a couple of teachers had not been successful, and he came in. He had this kind of crazy sense of humor, and he had a real passion about the subject, and he just made it really fun. And he also allowed the students to do a lot of creative music, and really gave us the space in which to flourish. So I hope that I can bring a little bit of that, and I'll allow the students to participate and make music, and have a really positive experience in that. So, thank you.
Darren Trocki is my name, and I teach high school math. This year I'll be teaching geometry, a course called Math Modeling and AP Calculus. It's my second year at Woods, and I'm truly excited to be here and in our new facility. A teacher who really inspired me in high school his name was Mark Wetzel, and this is something I never got a chance to tell him or just didn't think about when I was a high schooler. However, what he brought into the classroom were 2 things. He asked the students their opinion about what we were studying before just telling the students his opinion. So I try to model that in my classroom. The second thing that Mr. Wetzel did was study mathematics outside of the classroom, and that's something that I strive to do as time limits as well.
Thank you. And I'll be teaching Spanish 1 this year, as well as middle school Spanish. And the very first teacher I ever had in high school, very first hour of high school, was Miss Magnuson. It was German, but I loved learning language, and she enjoyed teaching and learning and talking in another language so much that I wanted to do the same. So hopefully I remember